What's up, everyone? Welcome to this week's episode of Galactic Nerd Outpost. I am your host, Joey McGee, aka Gojin the Makai Phantom, and joining me is Abyss Kaiser.
Hi. Yeah, if you want them showing my ugly face, kinda.
Yeah, we're definitely a lot more late than we usually are for this podcast, but you know what? It is what it is. Essentially, I'm just kind of getting back on the grind. Like, the D-War review is going to be coming late, but it will be coming out before the next week. And this was supposed to come out earlier today, but it just got delayed tonight. But you know what? We'll be back on the full-on consistency soon enough. Right now, we're mainly consistent, but a little bumpy. Oh, JS Penna wants to join. I'll send a link. Give me a second. 1 minute. Okay, give me a second. Hang in there, JS. I'm getting the link. You know, they're offering me to fucking up my subscription. It's like, if I want to up my subscription, I'd do it. Quit putting this shit in my fucking face.
Yeah.
Sosa said, so late, lol. You're right, it is. Usually I don't go this late, but you know what? We'll make an exception here. But check your Facebook, JS Penna, because I'm about to send it. Okay. Man, I wish internet was fucking faster. And there you go. Link to the chat room is sent. But yeah, what we're going to do today is essentially discuss some of our favorite gaming franchises as advised from Abyss Kaiser. So, let's get into it. You go first, Abyss Kaiser, with one of your choices, then I'll go.
Since I'm learning something from this right now, I'll say Dark Souls. From Software's franchise. I just love playing those games. A friend of mine showed me it. Yeah, almost a decade ago, he brought it over and he made me try it. Like everyone else, when I first played it, probably absolutely got my shit kicked in by the fucking game. But I was like, I could tell it's a really goddamn game.
Yeah.
Shit, it was worth dying over and over to get through like every fucking area, even if like some of the areas were straight up bullshit.
Yep.
Smoke and Ornstein, Gwyn, Manus, Artorias, Soul Cinder, the Abyss Watchers, Slave Knight Gale, just some of the epic bosses in the game. And Elden Ring.
Yeah,
some of the bosses like Morgott and.
Yep, which it's still going on today in other series, as like you said, Elden Ring and games like fucking what was your favorite called again? Because I haven't played it, but I got the digital copy for free. Yeah, Bloodborne and stuff like that. It's interesting.
Yeah, Ludwig. Yeah, Ludwig, Orthmakos, Gammon. I'm just naming out some of the epic bosses. Yeah, Ludwig, Orthmakos, Gammon.
Just a sec.
But yeah, Elden Ring was like probably it has a little bit of everything from all these games up to this point. Well, some of these bosses are straight up absolutely ridiculously aggressive. You have to rely on magic just to have a chance against them. For back in the day, if you were good enough, it was just melee. I guess you could still say that, but it just got ridiculously aggressive now these days. Still really fun playing them. Still a piece of these series so far. I can't wait for them to do a DLC, whatever it'll be about.
You got anything else to say about it?
No, not really.
Because I don't want any awkward silence. Okay, I'll go next. I'm gonna say one of my favorites, Halo. Halo is a game that I got into a bit late. Matt's in the comments. He said, "Holy shit, y'all talking about your favorite video game series? Yeah, like you can join if you like. Would you like to?" Kind of lacking on guests. We only have Abyss Kaiser and JS Penna. I need someone to make fun of Aaron with me.
Of course. I tried wearing that mask, but I'm already burning up. Fuck that shit. How the fuck could they do? How the fuck could they wear that shit back in the bubonic plague? I don't know how, but goddamn.
Matt, check your Discord. I sent you the link.
But I was wondering why you look like SCP-049.
I was trying something different, and I didn't last long with that shit. Fuck that.
Speaking of something different, I've been thinking of a new look, and I want to hear y'all's thoughts.
Okay, the first one you finished what I was talking about. Like one of my favorite franchises of video games would be Halo. One of the things about it is Halo, I think it was the actress who played Cortana, I forgot her name, but she said in an interview, as Master Chief is essentially one of the legendary gaming characters alongside Mario and bunches of others. He's awesome, and the thing about the Halo games, there's so much variety. Each game is so different from the others. There's different mechanics, different moves, all of that stuff. And the stories are also their own thing. Like the first Halo game is more simple and more like a fun sci-fi action plot with a bit of drama sprinkled in, but overall was more fun than anything. While Halo 2 went in a more complex environment of diving more into the character's lore, the chemistry, and kind of going back and forth between the Arbiter and Master Chief, and that's something I really did dig about it. And it actually has a very valuable thing to say about governments driven on religion. And Halo 2 overall just really left a strong impact, and it was one of the most hyped games of all time for that reason. And even till this day, like, I think Halo Infinite, outside of the 343 being a bit lazy with the multiplayer, they nailed the core gameplay and a lot of, and the, what's the word I'm looking for, and the story. And the multiplayer, hopefully I do hope they add more to that soon, because generally for years, Halo's been that perfect mix of great multiplayer and great campaign. 343, I think, been kind of lacking on that, because Halo 5, from what I remember, had great multiplayer, but its campaign was sort of lackluster. So, once we could get that balance back of great campaign and great multiplayer, I would be happy, because Halo's best enjoyed together, where you and another player can just sit down and play and take down and just beat the game together, and along with stuff like that. Even the creators described it as a party game. I don't think there's any first-person shooter game that's more legendary than Halo. The only games that I'll say that are on an equal level with it, if not more so, would be stuff like Doom, which is another great series. But yeah, Halo has been around for so long for that reason. And even in Bungie's later installments with the games like Destiny, which has received criticism for lack of content and the like, but you could still tell the magic of Halo is still inserted in that game. Just unfortunately, it hasn't gotten a proper movie or TV show yet. Like, the movie Halo 4 Forward to Dawn was cool. It was a nice little tie-in to the game, but overall, it wasn't anything special. That series Halo Nightfall, again, it was just okay. Nothing special. The anime film was pretty solid. I really liked that segment with the Arbiter and things of the like. But we haven't got a full-on great Halo movie or show yet. And the most recent Halo series had potential to bring that, but the thing is, it lacked it. But as a whole, yeah, Halo definitely goes out to one of my favorite games of all time, as it has so much variety in storytelling and gameplay mechanics that just makes it such a very fun experience for me, with memorable characters. Like, there's very few characters I can quote as much as the Arbiter or Master Chief.
Where
Like,
it's so easy.
yeah.
Or Sergeant Johnson.
But that's one of the things you also have there. You also have stuff like Keith David playing the Arbiter, and you can't go fucking wrong with Keith David. And
You never go wrong with Keith David in anything, dude.
exactly, he was great in Spawn, he was great in The Thing, he was great in They Live, he was fucking great in anything.
Gargoyles.
Huh? Oh, I haven't seen Gargoyles, but I've seen clips, and yeah, he definitely did really good, as always. He's probably the only actor I could think of. If James Earl Jones couldn't play Darth Vader anymore, he'd actually be a solid replacement. He's the only actor I could think of I'd be cool with replacing James Earl fucking Jones.
If anything, I think Keith David should have been something more akin to the main villain.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway,
in the news, in something of a new Star Wars or a sequel trilogy that's not the Star Wars sequel trilogy, if that makes any sense.
no, I get what you mean. Something that's essentially like essentially sequels to Star Wars movies, but aren't what the crap Disney made. Correct? That's
You
what
mean
you're saying?
Legends?
Yeah, pretty much Legends. Yeah.
And by the way, Doom and Halo, definitely the kings of the first-person shooter or genre in my book.
Okay, so since Matt went on, we'll might as well have him go next on favorite game series.
Okay. Oh, so many good ones to name off. Where do I begin? Oh, I guess I'll start off with my most absolute favorite franchise that birthed that also contained my absolute favorite thing ever. Y'all know what I'm talking about. The Xeno series.
Oh, Xenoblade, we're correct.
Oh, not just Xenoblade, Xenosaga, and of course Xenogears 2, baby.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's your profile pic if I'm not mistaken.
Hell, got it in one go, bro.
Yep. Yeah, I heard some great things about that. Anyway, go on. Go on why it's one of your favorites.
I mean, this series has so much storytelling content you wouldn't even believe. Like, Xenogears definitely has some major allusions to Gundam, Dune, 2001: A Space Odyssey, Childhood's End, the whole shebang, dude. And that was actually birthed from the director Tetsuya Takahashi's love for mecha anime in general. So it wasn't just a big fat Evangelion ripoff. If anything, it was more a love letter to sci-fi in general.
Well, yeah. Hell, Evangelion itself is a love letter to stuff like kaiju and things of the like.
Bingo. Yeah, not to mention, it also raises some interesting questions, like Halo, about the role of religion in society and how, and of course, government corruption, and then of course, slavery. The whole, I mean, this game's story is dark. Let me tell you.
Makes sense. But yeah, it's always nice to have some thought-provoking stories out there, just like it's nice to have some more fun stories. That's one of the things why Halo is one of my favorite series, is you have some games like Halo 2 that are thought-provoking.
Halo's pretty much one of your big favorites because that's pretty much the Western equivalent to Xenogears, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, Halo has that mix of certain games are more fun and simple, like Combat Evolved, and then you have more drama-driven stories like Halo 2 and Reach.
Yeah, Halo 3 is my favorite game in the series, believe it or not.
Oh, Halo 3 is great. It is. It does lack certain aspects like the use, like kind of underusing the Arbiter in the campaign, but overall a very good sequel. My favorite is probably a tie between Combat Evolved and Halo 2, though.
Halo 1, they didn't really tell you too much about the Covenant other than they were just like baddies that were obsessed with the Forerunners and they kind of worshipped them.
Well, yeah,
And it-
Combat Evolved was.
Well, they were kind of a precursor race, so yeah, it's understandable that the Covenant would revere them as godlike.
Yeah. If I remember correctly in the lore, I think humanity was at one point actually as technologically advanced as the Forerunners, but they got in a war and they like lost to the Forerunners and they got dehumanized or deprimatized or something. I don't know, but primatized, cavemen and shit. From what I remember reading the lore.
Yeah, essentially
Yeah,
it
that
started off with a simple popcorn flick plot to something very deep and dramatic with Halo 2, and both work for their own reasons. Halo Combat Evolved goes more for the fun escapism action movie story where you're the action hero. Halo 2 goes more in the whole thought-provoking way while being the badass action hero.
I need a weapon.
As for the lore of Xenogears, I mean, you ever read into the Bible, like, oh, let's say, I am Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end, sort of thing?
I'll be honest, I never read the Bible, even when I was Christian.
I remember that quote, yeah.
Yeah, that was more alluding to basically Deus's role as the demiurge. Yeah, that game's whole shtick is very much Gnostic themed. Like, you have this noble, benevolent, spiritual god, and then you have this evil, diabolical, materialistic demiurge that presents itself as God. Yep, Deus would be more the demiurge, while the wave existence, the spiritual god that exists within the Zohar that powers all the gears powers all the mecha in the video game. Yeah, that's the spiritual. That's the wave existence.
Oh, okay. Anything else you have to say about before we move on to JS Penna?
Other than Faye is one of the most badass main characters in all of video game history, alongside, let's say Yuri from Shadow Hearts.
Fair enough. Anyway, JS, what do you got?
All right. I have a confession to make.
Okay.
I didn't grow up with video games.
Don't look down, guys, but we got ourselves a porn bot.
Oh, for
Well.
sake.
Oh my god. I remember seeing in Godzilla groups, for some reason lately, a bunch of groups I've been in getting spammed with porn. And stuff like that, but even worse. I'm not going to say what it is, though.
I don't know why. I mean, if it's something I did, I apologize.
Maybe Elon should buy YouTube.
I don't think it's anything you did.
Okay,
Or it could be Mama fucking Susan, that fucking bitch.
Yeah. But, JS?
Alright, so long story short, I didn't grow up with video games in my household. And let's just say it involves my older brother when he was younger, my mom, and Grand Theft Auto. Long story short, he managed to trick her into buying the game for her. And when he was like in a strip club or whatever, she was walking around cleaning the house or whatever, and she catches him, and he turns the TV off, and she says, "What are you playing?" And he says, "That game you bought. Nothing's going on." And she says, "Turn that back on. I want to see what that was." Anyway, he turns it back on, and it's a strip club, and she asked him, "Who bought you that game?" And he looks at her and said, "You did." And after that, all she did was buy him basketball games and such. And
that's lame.
Bruh, I was like 6 or 7 playing San Andreas and like shit like Saints Row with all that shit in it. My mom did not give a fuck.
I was too. I grew up playing Grand Theft Auto, Turok Evolution, Mecha Assault, and things like that. So,
Dude,
uh,
I've been playing video games since before the whole all violence in video games controversy.
exactly.
However, since I've been on here before and mobile games count, I will say a favorite franchise I do like is Hungry Shark, where basically you play a shark and you eat people. The first game it was just one shark, and then there was another game that was like Hungry Shark Night, and it was somewhat relate. Have you guys heard of that movie Shark Night?
I
It came
have. I
out.
seen it as a kid. I used to watch a lot of bad B movies of creature features.
Yeah,
So, yeah.
that movie did not age.
I've heard of Sharknado.
Oh, yeah.
Oh God.
I've been,
Yeah, that movie was a stinker.
Sharknado is funny.
I want them to make that an update for future games. That'd be awesome. Anyway, so Hungry Shark. The first game you could play as one shark, and you can travel on a map and eat stuff. And you basically, the more you eat, the bigger you get. And then there was like Hungry Shark Night and Hungry Shark Evolution, where you could play as different species of sharks, such as a blacktip reef shark, tiger shark, great white, megalodon, whatever.
Yeah. I
And
remember
then
being addicted to Hungry Shark Evolution.
And then there was Hungry Shark World, where basically you did the same thing, but you can also play as more sharks. And you could also play as a Donkey Lostius, which isn't even a shark. And I'm pretty sure it was smaller than Megalodon, but hey, you gotta interest people somehow. And there was also like Mecha Shark Jira and Shin Shark Jira
Huh.
and Alan Destroyer of Worlds, which is basically a shark from outer space. And then they would also make a spin-off game called Hungry Dragon.
I never heard of that. That actually sounds like it could be cool. I love dragons, and I remember enjoying Hungry Shark Evolution, so...
Oh, yeah. And, okay, so that's Hungry Shark, and...
Yeah.
Other games I grew up with was Angry Birds.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
I played...
I feel for you on that one there, JS Pena. I mean,
yeah, I heard the
overly protective parents are a bitch to deal with. Let me tell you.
Wait, is that what happened to the game? I just heard it was because Ravio got greedy or something.
So before we move on to your next favorite franchise, JS Penna, we should go back to Aaron since Aaron's the one that started. Essentially, when it comes to this, we go back and forth when it comes to favorites. It goes for me, Aaron, Matt, you, and then Psycho goes. Am I right?
All right.
I should probably go on more to Saints Row. I mean, not Saints Row, Elden Ring, because I was just kind of rambled on about. I love the lore and the fucking gameplay of these games in the open world. Like, it's out of its world. It's some of the best shit I've ever seen in gaming. Honestly.
I love the Soulsborne games, dude. I mean, those are one of the very, very games made in modern times that remind me why we play video games. Believe it or not.
Oh fuck yeah. Like, when you learn about the lore of Artorias, you feel like, god damn, I feel sorry for this guy. He just lost fucking everything. He became the thing he swore to destroy from where he was trying to fight it for so long. Just like, fuck, man.
Yeah, that's gotta be a raw deal.
Oh, yeah. And then learning about Elden Ring and stuff, and about, like, all the demigods and what's happened to them after the shattering. Kind of makes you want to know more, but they keep a lot of shit vague in the fucking lore of these games, so you kind of have to go in with your own headcanon on certain parts.
Yeah, I'm almost on the final stretch of Elden Ring myself. I mean, facing off the fire giant.
Oh yeah, I was actually fighting him earlier today on my character that's like 300 something. I'm like on New Game Plus 3 or 4. It's another cool thing. You can sit there and keep going to like through the games over and over again and unlock everything, keep making your character like ridiculously overpowered while everything gets tougher and shit. I always like them doing that in these games.
Yeah, I know. I mean, my favorite method of farming for runes would be that one area in the underground with the Albinariac.
Oh, that's an infamous grind spot everyone uses.
Yeah, I mean, once you know how to grind for runes, the whole fucking game's your oyster.
Oh no, Melania's still a fucking nightmare to fight, dude.
Yeah, I know.
And Elden Beast. You gotta be really fucking good fighting those two, like, or you might as well still die like fucking 100 times, even when you're like ridiculously highly leveled. Complete fucking nightmare of a boss. But goddamn, I found it. They're not fun to fight at the same time.
Yeah, the Elden Beast, at least I heard, is a really good final boss.
Nah, I heard a lot of people really don't like this boss because he keeps running away. And you're trying to run at him while he's bombarding you with like a bunch of holy ranged magic. Shit's really fucking annoying.
Oh, yeah.
It's a cool final boss, don't get me wrong. It's literally the Elden Ring itself. Oh, it's probably spoiler there, but it's been out 6 months now. Yeah, it's been out over 6 months, whatever. And DLC will probably be about Mikola. Or maybe something about the Badlands they're talking about.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just thinking of shit.
This
But,
that would technically fall into the Soul series, correct?
Elden Ring?
Yeah.
I mean, gameplay, yeah. I'll say that.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, I guess if I had to pick another game, I'm going to say Saints Row. Ridiculously fun-ass games. Keith David voice-acted character who was the original Saints leader, and he ends up playing himself in the 4th game, which I'm playing right now. Just running around fucking shit up, because why not?
Yeah, I played some of that because it was given to me by Xbox a couple years ago, and I remember having fun with it. I think on the games, from what I played, definitely don't take themselves too seriously, but it's a GTA clone, so of course, and that's one of the reasons why they're fun. But if I remember correctly, like, isn't that the one where aliens invade?
Yeah.
Yeah, like, literally how one of the games starts, on one of the beginning levels, you're on a fucking rocket ship, and Aerosmith's I Don't Want to Miss a Thing starts playing.
Yeah.
Dude, I definitely gotta play me some Saints Row one of these days. Like, I've heard.
Just don't play the fucking reboot.
Yeah,
don't play the reboot.
That's numero uno on my list.
Good.
Avoid the reboot like the plague. Like, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Just mentioning that is likely to give you a bad case of gonorrhea.
I totally forgot it was coming out.
I was like, oh my lord, this looks really bad. Like, literally everything I heard about this game is fucking bad. Besides maybe, I guess, the graphics look kind of okay, but that's about it.
The graphics look hit and miss, like a lot like how the GTA Definitive Edition was when it was released. There was things in the graphics that looked great, and things in the graphics that looked even worse than the originals.
Yeah, it was fucking weird.
Yeah, why do we keep paying for improved graphics? I mean, graphics, if you ask me. I mean,
the Saints Row 3 remastered actually was really an actual fucking remaster.
Yep, Halo 2 as well. Yeah. Halo 2, I don't think there's any game that matched Halo 2's cutscenes and remastered till this day.
Yeah, but here's the thing. In graphics come and go, but art style, that's what stays with you for life.
I think when it comes to graphics, like old school graphics, James Roth even said something. There's a difference between old school and dated, and I like to look at stuff like that looked good for its time as old school. Like, you can appreciate the effort that went into it back then, and it's still it could still look good for now. Like when I played Mecha Assault recently, I was still very impressed by the graphics, even though it was an original Xbox game. That's because for an early 2000s video game, that looked fucking incredible.
Hey, if we're talking about early 2000s video games that still look good by today's standards, Panzer Dragoon Orta, baby.
Yeah.
Never heard of it.
You never heard it? Oh, right. Never mind.
But finish Abyss.
But yeah, they just got ridiculous as every game went on. It just went all cartoony and just ridiculously over the top in 3 and 4. It feels like 1 and 2 are like 2 different games compared to 3 and 4.
Yeah.
Like it was like they soft rebooted is what I guess you could say.
Understandable. I guess if you like some over-the-top games, I'd recommend checking out Sunset Overdrive. Like, I played that not that long ago. A lot of fun. It has an early 2000s to 90s punk-like feel to it. That's because the inspirations for it was Tony Hawk and either Dead Rising or Saints Row or both. And that's why it has the tone that it does. And I would recommend that. It was a lot of fun. It was an Insomniac game before they went to PlayStation with Spider-Man, which is also really good.
Yes.
I think part of the reason why they got so fucking ridiculous is because they got sick and tired of everyone saying, it's a GTA clone or a San Andreas clone or some shit. That probably partially affected why they kept getting more and more ridiculous.
Yeah, because
gritty gangster-like, yeah.
Yeah, because they wanted to go even more crazy. Like, GTA always been parody-like, but it seems like Saints Row, from what I know about it, wanted to just take that goofiness and push it to 100, and you gotta respect that.
I just don't like what the direction it went with a lot of shit. I felt like they took a lot of stuff that was good from 1 and 2, though, at the same time.
That's fair. Though, either way, I think it's all better than the reboots.
Oh, God, yes.
I'm pretty sure my stool for my Taco Hell lunch is better than the reboot.
Yep.
Oh, God, Matt. But... Anything else you have to say about that, Abyss?
Rest in peace, Saints Row. Another franchise killed by idiots.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go with that. Another franchise killed by complete and utter dumbasses.
Yeah, but remember, Abyss, we're just hating on it because it's progressive.
Oh, God. Even though fucking critics even hate this goddamn game.
Yeah, I hate when they throw that fucking excuse. It is a straw man. It's like, if that's the reason why everyone's hating it, how about you give a valid argument for why your game's not worth getting all the fucking hate for?
They don't have anything worth a shit to fucking defend themselves.
But remember, Joey, everything is political because some internet hipster twat told us so.
Well, I don't think everything is political, but what I think is, when it comes to politics, it's not politics that are the problems, it's how they force them in. Like, Prey, perfectly fine with that. I defended it and got accused of being woke for it, which those of you who know me knows I'm not. But
trust me, I know you're the farthest thing from woke I've ever seen, dude.
Yeah.
And yes, I hang around with Mr. Anime 343 mostly because I genuinely think he's cool people. In my book.
Well, I wasn't referring to Mr. Anime. I was referring to some dipshit in the comment section of my friend Andrew Sosa on his review of Prey. He essentially he was saying because I was defending the theme of that movie, I was getting drafted by the woke, and it's like, what? It's
no.
Again, if a movie is done really well and it is ham-fisting a whole bunch of woke nonsense, instead, it's really not that bad.
Yeah. I mean, because
granted,
that's the thing.
And Prey really wasn't that bad at all.
Prey was a lot like 1998.
It's nowhere near the level of greatness that is Predator 1 and 2, but me being a nostalgia tard, well, you get the whole deal.
Yeah, but that's the thing about Saints Row. If you've seen the dialogue in that, they talk like fucking Twitter users.
What the actual fucking goddamn fucker that bullshit that fucking character says at the very beginning.
Twitter
Remember,
users
folks,
aren't people. They're fucking
remember,
robots.
folks, Twitter ain't a real place because Dave Chappelle said so.
Chad. Oh, God. But my
I just
next
thought
pick... Huh?
I just thought Prey was all right.
I thought it was good. My favorite Predator movies, though, would be a tie between the original and 2010's Predators. I like Predator 2 a lot, too. I also like Prey. 2018... No,
Let's
I don't
never
like...
talk about that one again.
Yeah. And it was made by one of the fucking people involved with the original.
Yes.
Like, out of anybody who's making the Predator
How the
again.
hell do you fuck that up? Like, seriously,
Exactly.
Are you trying to emulate MCU? You
It seems
bugs or
like it.
something? I don't know.
And that's the problem with a lot of Hollywood stuff these days. They want to emulate the MCU's forced humor that isn't fucking funny half the time.
Yeah, not to mention MCU. On hindsight, wasn't really all that great to begin with. I mean,
Exactly.
they were more. Yeah, I mean, to me, they were more mediocre to abysmal.
That's fair. But
That's me being generous here.
But that said, on my take of Saints Row, yeah, the new game, both on a writing and gameplay perspective, I don't think it takes playing it to know it's fucking awful until someone gives me a reasonable argument, which I have not seen in defense of this game yet. I'm not gonna fucking play it. Okay.
You know, something weird happened. Like when the news about Saints Row broke out, there was a live stream. There was a live stream in my feed that said like Saints Row was like the new Saints Row is actually good, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna call bullshit on that. And I clicked on the 3 buttons, said not interested, and then the next day I watched a video, and the same guy was in my feed, and his video was titled "Saints Row reboot is good. You guys are just weird." And I said, okay, yeah, it's bad.
Yeah, that is Professor Otaku level defense bullshit there.
Oh God! If we're comparing that load of tripe to Professor Otaku, yeah, it's bad. Trust me.
Yeah.
It's fucking bad.
I mean, when I saw that,
people need to learn that just because they say something is or isn't a fucking argument. An argument is when you actually go into detail on your fucking points and counter what's being said. Just saying this is or isn't with no meat to your point, you ain't worth a damn.
Yeah, see also that one anime hater that's been constantly going to every single anime YouTube video, forcing his bullshit rhetoric down people's throats. I wouldn't
put much energy towards towards the random commenters, dude. It's not healthy as.
Yeah, I know, but
yeah, it's definitely not.
Lord, that dude was fucking retarded.
Yeah, but best to avoid those types of people. Why I kind of delve into cancer occasionally when it comes to people like Professor Otaku, I get to make videos making fun of them, and I can kind of get benefit from that by subscribers and such. But that said, my next pick is the Atari and Pipeworks Godzilla trilogy. These games were fucking fire. Like, I will admit, they did kind of lack content, but I noticed with every game, alongside making the story more complex, it was still always more on a simplistic side, but you know what I mean. Every game upped its game on stuff like that. They would add more monsters while keeping everyone in the last. They would add more maps. They would add more They would add more moves. They do so much shit to expand it alongside modes. That's why Unleashed has the most, even if Unleashed has faced some criticism for its controls on the Wii. And the PlayStation 2 version being a bit of a laggy port of Save the Earth. But overall, what the games did, there was definitely a lot of heart put towards Godzilla in them. Every character felt like they belonged in the movie, while also having a bit of a tournament fighter-like feel, which I don't know if this was the intention, but I feel like since it's hard to compare it to every other fighting game, I feel like there was inspiration with all this crazy stuff they could do from the Showa era of Godzilla movies, and either way, it felt really cool. while also being accurate to, let's say, the Heisei monsters that portrayed in it. And the stories were very, very simplistic. Like, the first game was just a very, very, very simple retelling of 1966. I think that's what it was. 66, correct? Destroy All Monsters, the original movie.
Yeah.
It's a very simple retelling of 1966 Destroy All Monsters, but that was the point. The alien had some humor thrown in. The actor overall did a good job, and it gave you a goal with the gameplay. Again, it was a very short campaign, and the second game, Save the Earth, slightly expanded upon that while also throwing in stuff like mini games, and Unleashed expanded upon it even more by even making references to some things in the movies, kind of making it a tie-in to them. Even if you go on about how does this connect with this, it's not going to fucking add up since all the Godzilla continuities are very different from each other, but you're not supposed to. It's fan service.
I'll be right back.
It's fan service. It's very well done fan service. And the gameplay as a whole, every monster all feels different. And I know a lot of people felt the controls in Unleashed on the Wii more difficult, but I never had that much issue towards it. Now, I will admit, they should have had the option to allow the GameCube remotes in that game in particular, but with the nunchuck and the Wii remote, it's not that hard to get the hang of, at least for me. It was a very fun experience, and I liked how they altered the kaiju designs enough to be its own thing, while also still being recognizable. And oh, fuck, another bot came. Block user.
Jesus Christ.
Okay, what else?
And you, Mama Susan.
And overall, it's just a very good game. It's a very good game trilogy. All are very similar to each other while also different, and they really did what they could to just expand upon what they can in later games. And more companies need to do this, because stuff like I already mentioned Halo as one of my favorite game series, and it's still stand by that. But for what 343 is doing with Halo, it's taking forever to add all of what the previous games had. The Atari Godzilla trilogy, even though the prior games were lacking in content, they always made sure to never release the game without what wasn't in the original version. They have everything with more added, and that's something that you really got to appreciate. And overall, just very good games that are respectful to the source material while also different enough to stand out. What I'm really looking forward to is that is the amateur remaster / overhaul to the first two Atari games, Destroy All Monsters and Save the Earth. It's
Godzilla Save the Earth, Melee.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. Like, the monsters, while I enjoy the stylization the original versions did, it's cool to be able to play as ones that look and sound exactly like they did in the movies. The catalog is being updated. They're combining both styles of gameplay. And I wonder if they're going to add new monsters as a whole. If they do, that would be really fucking nice. And it would also be cool if they could add a little extra campaign towards it with a story of its own. Like, wouldn't that be awesome?
Yes.
Unleashed did that.
Yeah.
Overall, I'm very stoked for Godzilla Save the Earth Melee. They're definitely taking their time with it, but you know what? Perfection takes time. You can't rush them. I know some people are, but I'm not one of them. It's not like we're paying for this. These people are generous enough to give us a free product. Granted, they can't sell it, or else, well, I don't know who's suing their shit first.
Hopefully it won't be another Cyberpunk 2077.
Yeah, I was just about to say that.
It can't. Well, even if it would be, it's an amateur product that's free, so can't really complain too much. Not saying it's shielded from criticism.
All right, so I forgot to mention this. Even though I didn't play video games in my household, there were times I went to my cousin's house. They're the ones that got me into Godzilla, and I played the game. I played Destroy All Monsters, Save the Earth, and Unleashed with them. And boy, they were fun games.
Oh, they were. And while I was already a Godzilla fan when I played those games, there were some monsters I didn't already know about yet, like Space Godzilla and Orga. Originally, I thought they were original kaiju to the game, but nope. They kind of introduced me to them. And believe it or not, Godzilla Save the Earth is how Space Godzilla became my favorite monster. Because I saw him in the game, I thought he was awesome, I thought he looked awesome, I thought he sounded awesome, I liked his fighting mechanics, and I played as him a lot, and I decided, you know what, this guy's just as cool as Godzilla himself. And he became on par with Godzilla as my favorite kaiju. And then I watched the movie, and that kept, and my take on him stood till this day. I fucking love Space Godzilla, so there's an extra connection there for that purpose. Hell, it's how one of my brothers, made Destroya their favorite monster because he enjoyed playing as him all the time, and the Pipeworks trilogy.
And not to mention, Destroya is one badass monster. Let me tell you.
Oh, exactly. But anyway,
I couldn't think of a better monster to serve as the final boss for the Heisei saga.
Oh yeah, he was definitely great. The Versus series, aka the 80s to 90s films, were all really fucking good. Had a great beginning and a great conclusion.
Yeah, good luck telling that to Matt Frank.
Oh, Matt Frank. I'm not gonna go on about Matt Frank, but I'll just say, no, his reputation of being insufferable exists for a fucking reason. And I'll be honest, while his kaiju look good, his human characters, I'm not a fan.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Matt. Go ahead.
Okay, one more thing I want to say. But that is also the same guy that compared Ryuhei Kitamura, the guy who made Godzilla Final Wars, to Michael Bay over people like Quentin Tarantino, even though he's literally labeled the Japanese Quentin Tarantino. Final Wars has a lot of what Quentin Tarantino would offer, and so does his other movies like Versus. It's like Michael Bay, but you know what? I'm not gonna say anything more. I'm just gonna say that's a very, very shit take there.
Yeah, that was a shit take.
Like Ryuhei Kitamura, Quentin Tarantino, not Michael Bay, especially since a lot like Quentin Tarantino and Robert Rodriguez, he also has very violent horror movies in his catalog alongside his grindhouse-like action films. But that said, Matt, you're next.
Okay. Anyone in this chat love mechs?
Right here.
I like Mechagodzilla.
Mechs are cool.
Well, what if I were to tell you there's a mecha video game series where you could make your very own giant robot, load it to the brim with a whole fuckload of weaponry, and go to town on some dumb motherfucker unlucky enough to cross your path?
Oh, that sounds pretty awesome. Go on, I'm interested.
Gentlemen, allow me to extol upon you the virtues of Armored Core.
Oh, I grew up with Armored Core Age 2 on the PlayStation 2, and I played the hell out of that. At first, I was disappointed with it because me and my brothers, at the time, we didn't have an Xbox anymore, so we were hoping to kind of have a replacement for Mecha Assault. But after a while, once we kind of got adjusted to Armored Core Age 2, we had a fucking blast with it. And I think one of the things that stood out to us is Japanese mechs are very different from American mechs. So the style was very separate while also somewhat similar.
Japanese mecha tend to be more fighter jet-like in form and function as opposed to American tanks.
Yeah.
American mecha, which are more tank-like.
Yeah. But as a whole, yeah, after we got used to it, we had a lot of fun. One of the things that stuck with me is that soundtrack of it. That stuff was fire.
Oh, yeah. Tell me about it. Not to mention, I mean, FromSoft was known for Armored Core long before they were known for the Soul series.
Wait, FromSoft made Armored Core? Huh.
Yep.
I had no idea FromSoft did stuff like that back in the day. Jesus, that's awesome.
Dude, FromSoft has a pedigree that goes way back in the mid-90s, buddy.
Damn, that's fucking awesome. But just
Kingsfield.
That one actually started with Kingsfield, but that's a tale for another time. I mean,
Not to mention their sword, the Moonlight Greatsword's been like in Kingsfield and all the Souls games and even Bloodborne.
Oh yeah,
Elden Ring
tell me
too.
about it, bro. Yeah, not to mention the storytelling and lore behind Armored Core, really fucking good. Like you have warring mega corporations that rule over the entire the last remnants of humanity with an iron fist.
That totally sounds like our future, if I'm being honest.
Yep.
It sounds fucked to say, but it's true.
And we ain't got no cool ass giant robots to roll around in. Ain't this fucked?
Yeah.
I think Japan built one, didn't they?
Yeah, they
Oh,
built their
yeah,
own Gundam.
Yeah, but it ain't an Armored Core or a Gundam.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks like something out of Votoms, so I can definitely give it that.
Fair.
Oh, and the mechs, very much infinitely customizable. Like you could take one part of mech, put in a part of any other mech, and it still looks fucking amazing. Like it looks like your very own giant death machine.
Yes, I remember that. Like, one of the things that did stick with me as Armored Core Age 2 was the customization music. It had a bit of that somewhat of an arcade-like sound to it. If I was to describe it, probably describing it poorly, but that's the best way I could put it into words. That just brought an atmosphere to the customization.
Oh, dude. Shape Memory Alloy is basically like a Zen experience whenever. I mean, in fact, whenever I build Gunpla, I definitely want this playing in my head. And every time I build something like a high new Gundam.
Fair. Anyway, anything else you have to say about Armor Core?
Giant robots are fucking awesome. That is all.
Okay, JS Penna's next pick.
All right. Where was I? Angry Birds. So anyway, I grew up with this game. I first started playing the game on my sister's iPhone, and basically I played the original. I played Rio, Seasons. What came after that? Anyway, I've played almost all of them. Oh wait, there was a Space, Star Wars, and then Star Wars 2. Star Wars 2 was actually the one that actually got me to watch the prequels, even though I heard people hated them.
Well,
And
the prequels weren't that bad in hindsight.
They were really good. Episode 3, honestly, is a contender for best movie in the series.
yeah,
I agree. And I'm a huge fan of Return of the Jedi myself.
Yep.
so yeah, basically I see why people didn't like the prequels. Basically, I'll just agree that Revenge of the Sith is the best, and I also played something called, basically there was an Angry Birds game on Facebook, a version of it on Facebook, and I don't know. Later on, I just stopped playing it, and then I got my own iPhone, and I tried to see if any of the games were downloadable, and I didn't see anything. I was like, "What the fuck is this?" The only game I saw was Angry Birds 2, which I forgot came out. Oh yeah, Bad Piggies, that was another one. I played it a bit, but it I guess it just wasn't for me.
Fair.
And what else? Basically, I watched videos saying that, like, what the hell happened to Angry Birds, and it was something to do with like Ravio being greedy and putting all their money on the movies, and Yeah, I saw the first Angry Birds movie. When I heard that critics didn't like it, I was like, maybe I'll like it. And not that much.
Yeah, I wasn't fond of it either. I heard the sequel's good though.
I didn't hear that, but okay. What else? Anyway, basically, that's why a lot of the games were removed. I heard they brought back the original, and I hope they'll bring back the other games.
I'm sure there's still ways to get a hold of it if you look hard enough, but you're probably gonna have to sail the seven seas for those.
Yeah.
Arr.
Yarr.
But anyway, Abyss Kaiser, what's your next?
Oh shit. Give me a second to think here. SmackDown, the WWE games on the PlayStation. SmackDown versus Raw.
Yeah, oh yes, those first versus Raw games, and Here Comes the Pain were fire. I remember where as a kid I used to play this game called Backyard Wrestling a lot. So I got to play it again at some point because I remember it being fun and it introduced me to a lot of music like American Hi-Fi, Bowling for Soup, and stuff like that. But after a while, since I wanted to play another wrestling game, I saw Here Comes the Pain, and it was gotten for us. And you know what? I fell in love with it, and it introduced me to one of my favorite wrestlers as well, Ultimo Dragon. And then over time, we got, I think it was either Walmart or GameStop, or maybe Kmart. We got a 3-pack with SmackDown vs. Raw 2006, and SmackDown vs. Raw 2007, which the best of those, in my opinion, is a tie between Here Comes the Pain and 2007. Those were a lot of fun, and I have some of the best memory with all of that. And here, out of the versus Raw games, 2007 also has some of the best soundtrack with stuff like Rise Against, Versus the World, and 3 Days Grace, all of that good shit. But go on, Abyss.
Yeah, that shit was fun. Like, I like the 2K games, and they're pretty good. 2K22 is probably the best one, but I don't know. There was some kind of magic about the SmackDown versus Raw and the SmackDown games, and hell, even the 64 ones.
Yeah, I still
agree.
haven't played the... Huh?
I believe that wrestling games were the very best in the PlayStation 2, Xbox, and GameCube era, believe it or not.
Yeah, they were definitely a lot of fun.
Day of Reckoning 1 and 2 was pretty fucking good when I played from it.
Yes.
Which that's basic.
I played some of Day of Reckoning.
I got both of them. They're both pretty fun to play.
I played some of the first one. If I remember correctly, it's a bit of a clone of the first SmackDown vs. Raw game, but was still a lot of fun. Even had a lot of the same soundtrack, like Breaking Benjamin's, some Breaking Benjamin songs like Firefly.
Yeah.
But overall, I still really enjoyed it by memory. But it was no replacement for SmackDown vs. Raw.
Yeah. I always played Stone Cold in that game or Brock Lesnar.
Yeah.
Oh, he was fucking overpowered.
Stone Cold's my favorite wrestler, believe it or not.
Stone Cold was awesome.
Everybody loves Stone Cold, dude. For good reason.
Yeah, he's fucking awesome. He's funny, badass, and foul-mouthed. Everything.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Hell yeah. I also like Kane.
Kane's
I met Kane.
Undertaker. Ultimate Dragon and Rey Mysterio also.
Oh yeah, I need to watch some Ultimo Dragon shit from WCW. That's probably on the WWE network, or some of his shit in Japan.
Yeah, most definitely.
You should look up Justin Thunder Liger if you love Rey Mysterio and Ultimo Dragon. Or Justin.
Yeah, I've heard many good things about New Japan Pro Wrestling.
Oh, it's fucking beautiful, dude.
Yeah,
I mean, certainly a lot better than AEW and WWE right now.
WWE is actually improving because Triple H in charge, but AEW's starting to collapse because of that bullshit that happened between CM Punk and the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega. They all got fucking banned and lost their titles.
Yeah, not to mention Kenny Omega's overrated as fuck. Like, yeah.
Fucking fight me! I love Kenny Omega.
I knew you were gonna say that. And thank God Mike didn't join like he originally planned because he wouldn't have took that.
Oh no, Mike would have fought you about that too. He loves Kenny Omega also.
Okay then.
Yeah.
I'm not that into wrestling. I just follow some of the female wrestlers because I'm a pervert.
I know that
Mhm.
feeling. Yeah,
Yep,
I'm
yep.
with you. I know that feeling. Like a lot of the female wrestlers, particularly the Japanese ones and such.
I can guess which one.
Quite a few, actually. Quite a
Oh, a
few.
few. Never mind.
Oh god. But anything else, Abyss Kaiser?
Yeah, I hope the new AEW game's coming. That's coming out here. I think in the next few months it's gonna be really fucking good, but we'll see.
Yeah. My next pick would have to go to Doom. Unless before I go on, did you have anything more to say?
No, that was about it, to be honest.
Okay, my next pick is gonna have to be Doom. Like, how could you not love these games? Like, it wasn't the first FPS game. The first, I believe, would go to Wolfenstein, but Doom revolutionized the first-person shooter genre. And just going back to those older games,
kinds of metal, bro. Like,
yeah, like
this is a first-person shooter franchise. It's a love letter to heavy metal, ultra-violence, action films, you name it.
exactly. And you really do feel like a badass. Like the first game in Doom 3 is a nice combination of scary and awesome. Like they have this atmosphere to it. Like level 3 in the first Doom game had this very chilling theme to it that really just gives you a certain feel, especially when you go in that dark room. But you also, at the same time, you're the fucking Doom Slayer. You're a badass. And then you have levels that really do bring that on with the soundtrack, like the first one and such. And then in Doom 3, a lot of people didn't like Doom 3 on release, but I thought it was awesome because it was a nice mix of classic Doom and Half-Life that made for a fun and unique experience. It had slower moments for scare factor, others while also having some more fun and kick-ass moments. Like I used a lot of the tactics in Doom 3 I also used in the original games. But of course there was some times where you had to be more stealthy since it was on the horror end, and I appreciate that. But man, as much as I love the first couple Doom games from the old era, the 2016 and Doom Eternal, oh my god, they somehow managed to make the games even better. The music, all these very kick-ass moves you can do that just executes the demons in gory fashion. And Doom 2016 had a lot like Halo Combat Evolved in Halo 2. The first Doom 2016 game, had a more simplistic action movie plot of shutting the gates of hell. It was fun, and it would give you enough context to feel like a badass while playing. While Doom Eternal went for more of the complex end that would flesh out the lore a bit more, tie the story to the older games, while also still building the Doom Slayer up to be this big, awesome threat. And you really cannot go wrong with it. Like the older Doom games, incredible, but the most recent ones, they managed to take badassery and surpassed it. That is talent right there. And
Yeah,
there's a reason.
also brutal. There's also the brutal Doom mods.
Oh yeah, yes, I swear there was some.
Those really enhance the old school Doom games like a ton. Like
Yeah,
we had the added blood spray. Ooh, that's just a chef's kiss right there, alongside the really bitchin' metal music.
Yeah, I swear Brutal Doom may have had some inspiration on the recent Doom games because you have the executions.
Yeah, I can totally tell.
Yeah, like I haven't read anywhere that they took inspiration from it, but I swear they did, considering how they play very similar, they have very similar execution styles, and they both focus on taking the old style of Doom and modernizing it. Doom 3 did that to an extent, while also going a different direction, while these just went all out. Let's bring back the old gameplay in a very badass and refreshing fashion. And as a whole,
it's like the absolute best middle finger to Call of Duty I've ever seen.
I enjoy Call of Duty, but yeah, a lot of the yearly COD games are getting out of fucking control.
They have been for like the last fucking decade or two.
Yes,
Anyway.
yes, exactly. Like I could still enjoy playing through it, but at the same time, it's like, what are they doing? They're just releasing the same fucking game every year with a half-assed story. I heard, though. I heard Black Ops 3 has a solid campaign according to the Act Man, so I might enjoy this.
I mean, I think after Modern
But not
Warfare,
the Black Ops 3, Cold War.
Shit just went off the rails.
Yeah. But Cold War, I did hear, did bring back the interesting nature of the story, but I haven't played that one yet myself, and as a whole, I heard Vanguard just kind of went back to what you'd expect from COD, which is pretty fucking sad. But yeah, Doom, definitely the revival of FPS. Definitely a step up from COD. I think most people can agree on that outside of... I'm not going to insult anybody here, but I think most people can agree on that. But that said, what about you, Matt? What's your next pick?
My next pick would definitely be something along the lines of, say, Castlevania.
Oh, that's a classic.
Yeah, I mean,
Yep.
that was the very series that pretty much gave us the Soulsborne series, believe it or not.
I can see it. Like, I can see how,
especially with stuff like Symphony of the Night.
yeah, I can see how the gameplay of Castlevania could translate into stuff like Dark Souls and modern style. Though I'd argue that it would translate even more into Devil May Cry, the gameplay of Castlevania.
Yeah, I also love how Dracula's the main villain, alongside the Grim Reaper too.
Yeah.
I mean, Grim Reaper's the real main villain the entire saga, but Dracula as a main villain, that's pretty dope.
It is, yes.
And you're not using a sword to beat his ass. Oh no, you're using a fucking badass whip.
Yes.
And this Dracula's like way fucking stronger than your typical one. Like he's powered by hell itself, chaos itself. Some wild ass shit, yeah. You actually had to fight chaos itself to keep yourself from becoming the next Dracula as the final boss in Area of Sorrow. Yep, I got that one. That was such a nice different take on the Castlevania series. You're not playing a Belmont, you're playing as fucking Dracula himself, basically.
Yeah. I'm not even sure if the bad ending of Dawn of Sorrow is the true ending, believe it or not.
That's probably... Wouldn't that be the latest thing that happened in this series was Dawn of Sorrow? And like timeline-wise?
Yeah, that was the latest in timeline.
Yeah. I'm still waiting for them to do a Castlevania game where you're playing as that Julius Belmont dude who permanently killed Dracula. Or he did.
I do want to play as Julius Belmont, like in the worst way imaginable.
Yep.
I feel like you're implying something there.
Yeah. Cringe.
Oh god.
Okay, I probably stepped into something I shouldn't have stepped in, but okay.
Yeah.
No, that's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine. You're hanging around. You're hanging around us.
Yeah.
At least I'm not hanging around Professor Otaku.
Nobody would want to hang around that. Not even his fucking mom.
Oof. Ouch.
Oh god.
And he's feeling that burn all the way to Indiana.
Oh god. But anything else you have to say about Castlevania, Matt?
Matt?
Okay. I was thinking of something witty, but long story short, Dracula's wife never did anything wrong. It's ignorant.
Well, yeah,
people
I've seen.
being ignorant.
Well, yeah, I've
people.
seen the animated
Dracula.
series, and assuming that's. Well, yeah, I've seen the animated series, and assuming that's accurate, I'd have to agree with you on that. Anyway, JS?
I was just about to say, when I told you about the weirdo that was in my feed, like defending Saints Row, and you compared him to Professor Otaku, he didn't remind me of that, most because, well, I don't watch that guy. I mean, hell, after I watched your video, one of his Mechagodzilla video showed up in my feed. I was like, what the hell? And then I asked YouTube to not recommend me that channel.
Good,
Anyway,
good boy.
Damn you, Mama Susan. You always
Anyway,
have to recommend. You always have to recommend a shit.
Yeah. Anyway, he didn't remind me of Professor Otaku. He reminded me of this other asshole named Cosmonaut Variety Hour. He has a lot of crap takes, like a lot, like his titles are like your typical straw man, like Last of Us 2 wasn't that bad. You guys are just dumb or whatever.
Oh
Blah,
yeah,
blah,
that's
blah.
a really bad take. Like,
I think Mischief
who
did
the
a video
hell
on
even
that guy.
remembers who the hell even likes Last of Us 2?
No one.
Twitter.
Sony ponies, that's it, but they're not people.
Anyway, speaking of
neither are Twatterites, but hey, like Dave
Yeah.
Chappelle said, Twatter ain't a real place.
Anyway,
Yeah.
let me say this real quick, and then I'll get to my game. I saw this guy named Akasan, which I kind of hate now because he supports cancel culture and shit. He made a video about like people that like sending death threats to the voice actress, and I saw a comment that said like there was no SJW bullshit in Last of Us 2, and if you think that, you're an immature piece of shit and whatever. And then I saw a review of it of this guy that I follow, gave a respectable review, and I saw that vid, and I said, well, that was a fucking lie. Anyway, basically, a game I like is another game franchise I like is Plants vs. Zombies.
Oh yeah, I played a lot of that as a kid, especially the multiplayer stuff that was kind of like a family-friendly version of stuff like Battlefield. It was harmless but fun.
Yeah. So anyway, I like that game. I mean, I first played it on one of my cousin's phone, and then I got my first Kindle, and I played on it, and I played Plants vs. Zombies on it, and it's fun. It can be hard at times, but it's fun. You like there's classic plants like pea shooter, repeater, snow pea, chomper. And then you have the classic zombies like your typical zombie, the conehead zombie, buckethead, pole vault. What was another one? Zamboni and Gargantuar.
Yeah. By the way, is that Akasan as an AKA SAN?
Yes. And he's from Japan.
Huh.
Good grief.
Anyway, it's a fun game, and I was waiting for the sequel to come out when it was supposed to come out, and I had this app that was supposed to be a timer, and when the time was up, it never showed up on Kindle. And so I played Plants vs. Zombies 2 on my sister's new iPhone, and then I enjoyed it. I mean, don't me. And this was before I found out about EA and shit, and I really enjoyed it. It really sucks that you had to buy some of the plants, and there's there's events where you have to like kill a lot of zombies just to grind for seeds to unlock a plant. And
Well,
so
I think that's. Oh, go on.
And so I guess I just got bored of playing it, and nowadays I just watch Zach Scott's gaming to see what plants coming out to see if one will interest me in playing it again.
Fair. When it comes to Plants vs. Zombies, I think when it comes to free games, the microtransactions in Plants vs. Zombies, I think, is more of a product of them trying to profit out of releasing a game that's free, and that's fair, but I can definitely see the frustration there, since often stuff like that is kind of predatory, and in the way that they want you to get addicted to it, where you just spend a fuck ton of money towards it, and some people actually do, but it's not really on the developers. It's on the person irresponsibly spending a lot towards it, like Darkside Phil.
Oh yeah, I've heard about him.
He's a lolcow for a reason.
He looks like a homeless Ricky Gervais.
Oh, I see the comparison.
Dude.
I fucking do. Only difference is Ricky Gervais isn't a fucking bitch and can take roasting.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah,
the
by the way,
opposite.
who are you talking about?
Darkside Phil.
Oh, that dude.
He's the one who jerked off on camera and didn't realize it. And
What?
he just
Yeah,
started
you
acting. Yeah, that's how he got well known.
I really love when It's a Gundam roasts him like, holy
me
shit.
too. It's fucking funny. And he got caught jerking off on stream twice. He didn't do it on purpose either time. Like, first time you've seen him just making these faces in the background, and people were able to tell that he was jerking it off. And he was just awkwardly going stuff like, oh, the camera's still on? Shit, I didn't even know. Hello. That's the way how he fucking reacted. And then the other time, it was only his audio where you heard some meat being smacked around.
Oh my
Essentially,
lord.
essentially the only noises you'll ever hear in Professor Otaku's house. But
Oh, dude, that
and then he would start.
all those man, we'd be giving Prof some mean third degree burns. Like, God, I'm surprised he ain't a piece of beef jerky right now.
But essentially, when it came to him, you just heard the noises of the meat being stroked, and you also heard him going, "Oh!" And then when his audience caught him out by saying that it was, I loved hearing you moan or something like that to kind of make fun of him, he started making up excuses like saying that he was doing a stretch, and he was going, "Oh, that's a good stretch." He started making those noises.
Oh God! Thank God I don't watch this guy.
Yeah, he's a fucking.
Me neither.
But that's why he's
I
funny.
got better shit to do.
I mean, hell, I'm even scared to watch It's a Gundam's videos on him.
They're funny. He's perfect material to make fun of.
Then again, I heard this.
Gundam was enough of my gateway to the dark side Phil cinematic universe. Like, I'm good.
Like, I don't hate Phil. In fact, I ironically love him because he's fucking hilarious for being a dipshit. That's why.
Hey, yeah, but I heard this other guy that Gundam talks about, Chris Chan, was like way fucking worse.
Oh, Chris Chan is a completely different beast. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to talk about Chris Chan.
I mean, Jesus. Jesus, why the hell did we get rid of insane asylums?
Yeah, I have no idea.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, make insane asylum, make wacky factories great again.
Oh God. I mean, I know like a lot of patients were tortured, like, and some were probably misdiagnosed, but I think we need them back. I'll probably get canceled for that, but fuck it, we need them back.
Well, when it comes to people like Chris Chan, someone who I think
possible.
Well, I don't think Chris Chan has any defenders. Nobody likes Chris Chan because he's a fucking freak who literally raped his mother.
Yeah.
Don't remind us of that, please.
But anyway, JS, do you have anything more to say?
Yeah, Plants vs. Zombies, fun franchise. I played a bit of Garden Warfare.
A lot of fun right there.
Yeah. And I heard they're making a third one, but I have no interest.
That's fair. I played some of Garden Warfare, and I think I played some of its sequel, and yeah, I enjoyed it.
I'm sorry, not a third Garden Warfare. I mean a third Plants vs. Zombies game, but I have no interest.
That's fair. It'll
The
probably just be another clone of the others anyway. The most
Yeah.
difference was Garden Warfare because it kind of took the concept of Plants vs. Zombies and expanded it. And that's one of the things I respect about it because it not only brought a game to consoles, it added what you could do with it. It still felt like Plants vs. Zombies while also being a completely different beast. A combination of Plants vs. Zombies and a shooter game. And that's why it was fun. It was like, it had some nice vibes to it. That said, before we end this, do you guys have anything more to say before we end the podcast?
I also like the pipe. I also like the Godzilla Pipeworks game and games. Although at first I didn't understand why people hated why a lot of people didn't like Unleashed, and then they gave their reasons on like the gameplay and stuff, and I was like, okay, that's fair. I had issues myself. And I also had difficulty playing Biolante. But maybe that was just me.
Yeah.
Oh, and I want to show off this new look, and I want to see if you guys like it.
Okay.
Ready?
Ready.
3, 2, and 1.
Oh, nice. You look like an actual fucking cowboy.
Yeehaw!
You basically look like a whole lot less insufferable Jim Sterling.
Who?
Oh, that is an insult. An unintentional insult.
My bad.
Wait, who's Jim Sterling again? I've heard the name before.
Oh, you don't want to know who Jim Sterling is. Nobody likes Jim Sterling. Look up Mischief's videos on Jim Sterling, and you'll see how much of a fucking cock that person is.
All right.
But,
yeah. So this is a new look I'm going to try out, and I'm glad you like it. Do you like it, Abyss Kaiser?
It's all right.
I think I think what he's trying to do, he's trying to turn the chat on, but the only one with an erection is Abyss Kaiser. That's why he's quiet. He's fucking stroking it.
I'm trying to play 2K22, you asshole.
Yeah,
you're stroking your cock to Cowboy Penna.
Stop.
Oh God, no!
That is fucking cringe.
Oh shit! You want to do cowgirl with them, don't you?
What the fuck is wrong with you, dude? God damn it!
You want to play cowgirl with J.S. Penna?
You deserve a permanent mute button for some of the shit you goddamn say. Like Jesus fucking Christ.
You can ride him like a fucking horsey. That's the best type of roleplay you fuckers can do.
Stay away from me, Abyss. I'm a Catholic.
You're a Catholic. That means it must be unconsensual.
I love the banter on this one.
I'm not a hardcore Catholic. I'm okay with gays and whatever.
Oh no, I was making a joke there. I was making a joke.
Yeah,
there.
I know.
I'm well aware.
I'm talking to the people in chat.
Okay. Because I just want to put it known. I have no issue with Catholics there. I'm just being a dick.
All right. Speaking of video games, just a sec. Type this in the chat.
But seriously, Abyss, you think you could do cowgirl with Penna, right?
No. Stop that bullshit. God damn it.
Someone's insecure about his performance.
All right.
Are you fucking retarded?
All right. So anyway, I put a link in chat.
It is too late for this shit, child. Go to fucking bed.
Hype for Killer Clowns for Outer Space game. Oh yeah, it has potential, but I'll be honest, I'm not liking the lack of effort that's kind of been going into horror games lately, because starting with Friday the 13th, everything's trying to be like it with stuff like Predator Hunting Grounds and the like, where it's just focused on repetitive multiplayer, but it does have potential. And I will buy Predator Hunting Grounds if they add a campaign, because I heard the gameplay has gotten better, and they're adding stuff to the lore. But I'm not buying Hunting Grounds till I have a fucking campaign to play as.
Yeah, I probably won't play it because, well, I don't have a console, but I probably watch the gameplay on YouTube because that's what I like to do. And since I don't play the games, I watch the stories. I mean, after I watched the Uncharted movie, a lot of people didn't like it. I just thought it was eh. And then a month later, I watched the fan film, and I was like, holy shit, that was way fucking better.
Well, that's
And
because
then
fans generally have more passion for the project, which what these big corporations are doing, they're just milking it. Which normally that's not a problem if they have people that are passionate of the project milking it, but the thing is, they're not. Tom Holland as Nathan fucking Drake? I haven't even played the games and I know that's a shit casting choice. And I'm not even trashing Tom Holland. It's
yeah,
just he's a
same.
terrible choice for Nathan
Yeah,
Drake.
Yeah, same. And I like the guy as well.
Yeah.
All right,
But
well,
finish.
yeah. Anyway, so basically, I just watched the stories online, like Mortal Kombat, and I should. I didn't finish that Uncharted gameplay. I should probably get back to doing that. Yeah.
Fair. But anyway, before we wrap this up, what else do you guys have to say?
What the fuck is wrong with you?
What about you, Mad Matt?
Oh, not much from me. Just be excellent to each other and party up the fuck on, dudes. And I actually also wanted to include Final Fantasy and Dragon Quest on
Oh, okay.
there because I'm a huge RPG fanatic myself.
Guess we could put those as honorable mentions.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
I have another honorable mention. Plague Inc.
Okay.
Basically, it's a game where you create a plague and you put it in a country, and basically you have to destroy humanity, and you win.
Fair.
Yeah,
And
but I've seen gameplay of that shit. It looks pretty dope.
And let's just say I played it a lot when COVID happened.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Good
Honorable
lord.
Honorable mentions for me, like, these aren't below my other picks, but since it's getting late, I decided to just mention, I'm just going to mention them off the bat as to kind of just get them out there, you know?
Yeah.
Stuff like Bioshock, y'all know what that is. Turok, I love those games, played the fuck out of Evolution as a kid until this day, despite some flack it gets. It's still my favorite of the series, but those 90s stuff, fucking fire. Bioshock, very incredible stories to the games that allow variety of different routes and a perfect mix of action and horror. And Star Wars Battlefront, especially the second one, great gameplay to both that brings Battlefield to the Star Wars formula while also having the first one having the story of the movies, with the second actually expanding the universe. And that's all I could really mention on the top of my head, but there's a fuck ton more I could go on about. But you, Abyss Kaiser, when it comes to
I love Metroid.
Yeah, yes, I knew
Metroid
you
is fucking amazing, dude. I mean, it's my favorite Nintendo property by far, next to Star Fox.
Yeah.
Their last game that came out, Metroid Dread, was pretty much the conclusion of a 35-year-old fucking story.
Fair.
Really?
Metroid Dread, technically, yeah.
But any more honorable mentions?
I think that's it for me.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say that's it.
Yeah.
What about you, Mad Matt?
Yeah, I'm good.
All right. That being said, huh?
Okay, so I have a channel. Basically, it's my name, JS Pena, and pretty soon I plan to make a video on why people. I plan to make a video. I haven't fully planned it out yet on why people defend bad entertainment.
Oh, that's
I'm
a good
still
idea.
I'm still working on it, but I'm getting advice from people, and it won't be like next week or whatever. It's gonna be soon. I mean,
All right.
I mean, my next video will probably be asking the internet what they think of my new look, and yeah, I'm also on Twitter and Instagram, so check me out.
All right. That said, now's it for this episode. Please comment your thoughts down below, and if you enjoyed it, smash that like button harder than Abyss Kaiser will smash JS Pena's new look.
Stop. Fuck is wrong with you?
Also, check me out on social media and Alt Tech. Links are in the description down below, alongside Anime and Tiku. They have been a great help to this channel, and I appreciate them a lot. This is Gojin the Makai Phantom, leaving the building.
Adios, muchachos.